For most of Christian history, the gift of tongues was viewed as a miracle of translation. Today, that view has shifted to modern emotional crowds. The current assumption defines tongues as an ecstatic utterance, a private, non-cognitive prayer language that operates without standard grammar. This understanding is a departure from 1,800 years of church history. Until the early 20th century, the church held a unified definition rooted in actual human speech. This investigation identifies a specific Greek term as the core variable, glossa. In ancient Greek literature, this word describes the physical organ or a structured human language. The historical evidence does not support a third definition for unstructured sound. Redefining glossa as a non-cognitive exercise is a modern development. It creates a disconnect from the original lexical baseline of the text. The first instance of glossa occurs at the inauguration of the Christian Church in Acts chapter 2. The true miracle at Pentecost involved a massive, multinational crowd hearing the gospel message clearly in their own native, local dialects. The theological term for this is Xenoglossy, the supernatural ability to speak a structured, earthly language without prior study. This manuscript of Acts 2 includes the companion word dialektos, anchoring the miracle in regional human linguistics. The author uses this exact word, glossa, again in Corinthians. The burden of proof rests on those claiming the definition suddenly mutated into incoherent sound. The biblical model for tongues remains tethered to this established anchor of structured human dialects. Paul's letters to the Corinthians are often used to argue for a non-human prayer language. However, 1 Corinthians chapter 14 introduces the signification rule. Paul states that all valid voices or languages in the world must have signification, meaningful phonetic structure and content. This comparison highlights the structural problem. A sequence of repetitive, unstructured syllables lacks signification and fails Paul's own test for a voice. The text further requires a specific spiritual gift to accompany tongues, the gift of interpretation. The Greek word for interpretation is hermeneia, which denotes translation. Translation requires a target with syntax and vocabulary. When applied to unstructured sound, the process reaches a logical fail state. Because Paul requires hermeneia, he is describing a structured language, not raw spiritual emotion. In 1 Corinthians 14:2, Paul mentions those who speak mysteries to God. This is often cited to prove that no human can understand tongues. Ancient Corinth was a multilingual hub of various foreign dialects. Paul addressed a specific disorder, individuals speaking foreign languages in the assembly without a translator. A language is only a mystery if no one in the room shares that specific dialect. If someone speaks Takanese to English speakers, they are speaking mysteries, though the language remains highly structured. Paul reinforces this using the term barbarian, simply a Roman term for a person speaking a different, unshared human language. Speaking mysteries is the result of using a human language without a translator. It is not evidence of a non-human dialect. The mention of tongues of angels in 1 Corinthians 13:1 is often used to justify speech that lacks earthly grammar. Paul uses hyperbolic extremes. He compares this to giving his body to be burned, emphasizing that even the most elevated communication is worthless without love. In every biblical account, angels speak to humans using coherent, perfectly understood languages. Paul's final defense of tongues quotes the prophet Isaiah regarding foreign lips. This relief depicts the culture Paul is referencing. In the Isaiah prophecy, other tongues referred to the literal language of an invading army. Paul grounds the gift in this historical event. Real human languages were used as a sign of judgment. Biblical history identifies tongues as structured and comprehensible, leaving no precedent for ecstatic blabbering. The 1,800-year consensus of the Church supports the linguistic definition. Early Church fathers like Irenaeus and Augustine viewed tongues as real languages used to spread the gospel across nations. They believed the gift reversed the curse of Babel, which fundamentally required the use of diverse human speech. Even Charles Parham, an early Pentecostal leader, held this view. He believed the gift was missionary Xenoglossy, the supernatural ability to preach in unlearned foreign lands. For nearly 2 millennia, the intent of the gift was understood as structured language for the world, not a private rhythmic exercise. Modern debates often rely on personal feelings rather than the text. The primary check for any experience is whether it matches the lexical definition of glossa. Row 1 of this matrix addresses the private prayer language claim. 1 Corinthians 14:22 states tongues are a public sign for unbelievers. Row 2 addresses bypassing the mind. Verse 15 requires praying with understanding. Without grammar, it becomes a meaningless sound. The true miracle of Pentecost was the supernatural bridging of linguistic barriers. Our modern emotional experience simply cannot be used to rewrite ancient scripture.